I just got it. It says a premium account on Twitter is required to create live
Whoa,
broadcasts
whoa,
on their
you're live.
platform. Oh, we're back. All right. The boys are back. What is going on, everybody? The Dive Bar Boys are back. Episode 21. Appreciate everybody for rocking with us in what's been a little bit of a stressful week after Club Dub. For anybody here in Florida, thoughts and prayers to anybody that was affected by the storm. Hopefully everybody's all right, and we're moving on. Boys, how we doing?
A lot of tornadoes.
Lots.
Like there was no rain, hardly any wind, just a bunch of random tornadoes. It was the weirdest storm I've ever been a part of. Like I was so glued to it because I thought like maybe we'd be affected a little bit by it. But my brother, did you get rain in Fort Lauderdale?
None. Just wind.
Zero rain.
Bizarre.
Zero rain, guys. It's the most bizarre thing I've ever seen in my life. I mean, other than that, it's been nice to win for once.
Almost forget the feeling.
Yeah, I did. And I'm never forgetting it.
Ghost, how we doing, brother?
Unique New York. Hopefully I sound fine on the phone. Ow now, brown cow. It's fucking Victory Thursday. It's been victory week all week for me. I've been telling Jets fans to suck it. I've been telling Patriots fans to just blow me. Lot of swinging going on here. But you know, Bills fans, I really can't talk shit to yet, but soon. But I'm feeling good, dude. I mean, we're on the verge of 3-3, and then these first 6 weeks just never even happened. That's what I'm on the verge of.
Bob?
You know, it's crazy. We always say this, but it really is so true. Winning cures all. Like, It was ugly versus a bad team. We're back. We do not care. We'll run it down your throat, baby. Come and get it.
All right,
like,
boys.
Imagine we go from elite, crazy speed, wide, everything's in the just completely saying, all right, we're just going to go through the A gap. Meet me on the A gap, dude. Like,
good. I want that.
That would be ideal. All right, boys, let's run the intro and let's get into everything we got going on. Here we go.
Let's do it.
I'm putting the helmet on as always.
The opportunity is right now.
Terrific defensive play. Intercepted. From the Balboa. Off the block. Two on the move. Going deep. Speed race. He's got Hill. He's got Hill. The Dolphins have recaptured the lead.
Whew. That feels better after a W, I got to say.
Easily. All the time, dude.
It's a little weird after we lose. I'm not going to lie. You know,
it's awkward.
The tuxedos are a bit fucked up, you know?
Yeah. Like onions and ketchup.
The Tito's, yeah, the tuxedos are kind of fucked up now.
All right, boys. Well, let's just get right into it. Let's just go through, you know, everybody's thoughts on the game, the big dub on Sunday afternoon. Ghost, lead us off, brother.
You know me, man. I am that old school mentality. The fucking game hasn't changed in 100 years. You run the fucking ball and you play defense and you literally will go 17-0. You'll go 17-0. If every drive consists of 8-minute drives, you run the ball like every single play, and then you play good defense, which Miami has been all year, you're going to win the game. So it was great. For the first time in McDaniel's 3 years, he stuck to the run game. What was it? I don't think we threw a pass on the game-winning drive. We didn't throw a pass. And seeing Jalen Wright kind of have his coming out party, kind of like how we saw Devon Achane last year. And then Mostert, the speed to power ratio, he looks great when he's healthy. You know, the line was opening up some holes for these boys. And I know that, you know, the offensive line has been, you know, a lot of criticism over the past year, but I was excited for what I saw.
Joe, overall thoughts?
I mean, it's when you win, it's really hard to be upset, right? Thoughts, man. It's so crazy because like I knew it'd be ugly. I think that Snoop had a couple of really big throws. Some nice third and short, some third and mediums, extending plays a little bit more. I still would like to see more play action where he's rolling out of the pocket, maybe. I don't think we've seen that really yet. Every time it's a play action, he's staying in the pocket mostly. But I was happy with the line. The defense, of course, came to play again. I think it was Jordan Brooks who had a interview, and he was saying they just got to eliminate the big runs because that's really what's been killing them. It's just those big pop plays, and I'm not going to bring his name up. We know who it is. Let's just keep. I'll digress. Bob, what do you think, bro?
No, it was cool. It was cool. Like Ghost said, it complimented the defense, the game style. Finally, it complimented the defense. It was good. A lot like last week, or is it last week still or 2 weeks ago? I don't know. A lot like last week or the Titans game. We used the plays got better towards the end of the game, so that's why I kind of feel some hope at the end of the game. We were running the ball well during the game. I like that we were kind of like doing some play action and those third and shorts, third and mediums you're talking about. We were able to get some of that cross the middle stuff with Waddle and Tyreek off of play action. So that was setting up some good stuff and kind of helping Huntley for once. So it was encouraging. And the defense, man, it's kind of the competition's not really there yet. So we got to see if it stays that way. But man, so far the defense has been awesome. And Anthony Weaver has been better than I thought he could have ever been. So excited about that.
Absolutely. I believe our defense is still number 1 on third downs, which is crazy. Absolutely crazy. It means we get off the field.
Which is uncharted territory for us.
Right.
We have guys that 3rd and 12 and some miraculous first down all the time.
It seemed like it happened a lot with he who must not be named, who's now in Philly.
Mm-hmm.
Every time I see like 3rd and 15, 3rd and 12, I'm like, they got it. But now they don't.
Yeah.
Now they don't.
Isn't it the same thing? You see in the little ticker on the bottom, you see 3rd and 12, and you're like, fuck, they're gonna get it because we're just conditioned for that. And they've been great, man. It's been great seeing all these punts. And God, I wish that it's not a knock on them, but I just wish Tua was on the field and taking advantage of even half of these opportunities. The Patriots game is probably 36-10, and then the Titans game is probably, I don't know, if he takes advantage of half the opportunities, 28-12, something.
I will say though that I'm very happy with Snoop as the backup.
He made some throws. He, like you said, like you can see the comfort. Like there were still throws on tape, but against the Titans, you saw that that rail route, the seam, and then Tyreek coming across the middle 15 yards. He wouldn't throw it. He wouldn't throw it against the Titans, and he threw it a few times. He had that big curl route to Tyreek, that deep curl on 3rd and 15.
Huge,
Dot.
I think that was on the last that was on the scoring when we scored the touchdown. That was on that drive to extend it. That was a humongous play.
Absolute dot.
He got busy over the middle with Waddle and Tyreek this game. They both had 2 or 3 significant 10 to 15-yard catches in that middle area.
But why? But why, Bob?
Run game.
Mm-hmm. You can't just think that Waddle and Tyreek can get open. You can't, you got to make the defense at least respect the run a little bit. And I feel like this run game can gain a lot of respect, honestly. It's there, dude. We have 3 really good backs. I know H.N. was in concussion protocol, but I assume he'd be back by next week.
Well, his name's not Tua, so he's not going on IR.
Right, you know what I mean? It's not dramatic.
I'm trying to get Ghost going here.
Yeah. You can't get him going. He's got to take pictures soon. He's got to stay cute, boy.
Goes on a time crunch, so we're trying to, we're just poking all the buttons right now.
Yeah, I'm getting my pictures taken for school, graduation December, so we're good to go.
Sexy devil. Look at that mullet.
Hey, Desi just asked a really good question, guys.
I said this before this game. I really think Wright should be your primary bell cow. I think you should complement off of that. Achane should have 10 to 15. He's very fresh, explosive plays, ideally. And then, Mostert also, I will say that's another bell cow, I think. Just his comfortness in the system and the way he ran and the way he knows how to find holes and lanes. You can't put Mostert on the bench. Mostert, he really proved his worth once again. I keep counting them out, but you can't.
But the whole point is if you have 3 running backs who could be RB1s on any other team, why not use them, spread them out every game, keep their legs from under them? It makes no sense. This is exactly what the game plan should be, dude. And guess what? You only need to throw the ball 15, 20 times a game with Huntley because the guys are going to be open because they're not expecting it. But when you're throwing the ball two out of 3 downs at every drive, they're expecting the pass. They're not going to respect the run game. Then when we did run the ball before this revelation that McDaniel had, it was always outside scheme. It was always jet sweeps. He was trying to disguise screens as run plays. Like, he threw that one screen on that second down, and I think I said something on Twitter about it. After that, he didn't go back to it though, and I'll respect that. I will respect that. I'm like, dude, stop with the fucking screens, bro. Stop with the screens. There's a time and place for them. Not every drive, bro.
You know what was nice about McDaniel going away from that screen after it lost yards? In McDaniel's mind in this offense, and what we've seen all year, he was kind of using the screen game as an extension of the run. And that's the obvious, that's the common terminology when you talk about screens. And now he kind of realized, he's like, shit, like, I don't need to extend the run game there. I have it in the A gap, B gap, and the zone toss, and everything that was working. So it was nice to see him say, like, we don't need this screen game as an extension because we have this core run game right now. And what I'm most excited about though is that they put this run game on tape. Like, this is on tape. Like, the Colts are gonna be watching this next week. They're gonna be watching this run game next week, and you have to respect it now. Remember, for over 200 yards, you have to respect that.
Which, in my opinion, is extremely important because this Colts defense is good. That front seven.
The Colts are good.
The front seven can play, bro.
Yeah, we talked about this game on the predictions, and I think we were split on wins and losses with Dudley on.
None of my picks matter because Tua's not playing. So.
And you said 16-1. So.
16-1 with Tua though. It's still in the cards though.
I said with Dudley that we would end up losing. It's funny because it's worked out the way it has, but I said the Colts would be a game that we would lose and we shouldn't lose. Now we don't have Tua, so it changes everything. It's not like anything could happen, but the Colts are a sneaky good team. I mean, they're built well, and I think that it's in the mailbag, so I don't want to touch on it too much, but depending on who the quarterback is for the Colts really helps us.
Yeah, and we'll get into that. That's absolutely the case. So let's give some flowers before we give a couple of stinkers out for the game, and then we can move on. So real quick, Ghost, give away some flowers. Also appreciate that, Desi. Ghost, give away some flowers to a couple players or units from Sunday's Big Dub.
I'm gonna do offense, defense, and special teams.
Let's have it.
Okay.
Offense, I'm not gonna use the obvious one. I'm gonna go Alec Ingold.
Friend of the pod.
Hell yeah.
Friend of the pod, Alec Ingold gets my flowers on offense. None of that shit happens. I know what Jalen Wright did. I know what Raheem Mostert was doing. They look great. I love them both. None of that shit works without Alec Ingold. On defense, I'm going to stay consistent. Jalen Ramsey plays every down like it's his last. It's literally like his last down in the NFL every single play. The effort that he's giving has been incredible. Everyone wants to bring up, dude, outside of the pass interference in the Jags game, which he had him deep, and then that Brian Thomas catch in the end zone. Like, there's no bad tape on Jalen Ramsey all year. And then I'm giving flowers, and I don't give a shit what anybody says. Jason Sanders is getting my flowers because without him, this team is winless.
Fair.
Okay. Go ahead, Bob.
Well, you took all my answers, but let's see.
Great minds think alike, so they say.
Yeah. Well,
the boys are just in lockstep.
Yeah, I mean, that is the answers though. But I'll be the obvious guy here. I'll take Jalen Wright. He was inactive week 1. They've kind of held him back. He gets pushed in. He gets pulled out. And to think that, every time he gets a chance, he makes the most of it. And he literally carried the team Sunday. Like, dude, that dude's legit. And, dude, his vision and burst, dude, he reads this scheme beautifully. For a rookie, that's insane. And
his zone running is crazy, bro.
He's quick with a little sidestep, and he's gone.
It's beautiful.
Yeah, so I'm really excited about Jalen Wright. And, man, talk about having somebody like that in January, how much a difference that's going to make. Especially if you can keep Mostert fresh. That's awesome. Defense, I'll go with Jordan Brooks. He's put a few games together now. He's really carrying a lot of weight for obvious reasons, not just being in a 2 linebacker system, but the guy next to him a lot of times is not hitting on much. So Jordan Brooks, man, he's wearing multiple hats right now, and he's carrying the load. So Jordan Brooks for sure for me.
Bobby, with Jalen Wright, I just want to put one thing in there. How you said the sidestep and Joe Robbie put up the sidestep and everything. if you notice the way that Jalen Wright presses the hole before he makes his move, he sucks in every linebacker, safety, everyone trying to fill that gap, and he presses it to the last second and then makes his move. Like,
And
dude, it is. He doesn't hit the hole. He presses, and then does the sidestep. And by the time like the linebackers and the safeties are filling that hole that he's pressing, they're caught up in traffic and he's gone. It's just incredible watching him run the ball.
Yeah, and that's what I was saying. It's truly impressive where he already is in the system as a rookie, and he hasn't even been full time or anything. He's going to be good. Jalen Wright's going to be like legit as hell.
he had like 80, I think it was like 86 or 87 yards rushing. He had 51 yards taken back on holdings, on ticky-tack. I know everybody wants to kill Julian Hill and Liam, but those are ticky-tacky, depending on the back judge calls or not. But 51 yards back on penalties, he was going to put up a 120 piece. So very, very impressive. Joe,
And the
your flowers.
Patriots have like the number 8 best run defense in football.
I actually saw Devon Godchow today. I think it was somebody on Twitter. One of the accounts posted video of him getting pancaked, and then he retweeted and commented back, quote posted back, like, you mean something like this on like one good play, like one good run stuff he had. Like we were in those boys' heads bad on Sunday, bad. Joe, your flowers.
All right, here we go. Offensive side, I'm gonna go Snoop, man. It's pretty cool to see that McDaniel really changed the scheme for him. He made it fit for him. It was nice to see it. It was a big difference. I seen a big difference at least. And some huge, like we were talking about earlier, some huge third down pickups that and even the pass interference play. I mean, those are huge plays, man. I mean, it just is what it is. I mean, obviously the run game we leaned on, but when we needed him, he stepped up.
Yeah.
On defense, I was going to say Jordan Brooks because that guy's been everywhere. But I got another guy, Sealer.
Oh, yeah.
Yeah,
yeah.
dude.
I was going to say Sealer.
Yeah.
Zach Sealer. I don't mean this disrespectfully, but I have forgotten about Christian Wilkins, boys. Between I try to tell people Calais Campbell. I know Calais is a veteran, and I get that Christian Wilkins for the extended amount of time. But boys, nothing's going on in that middle. Nothing. Wait till the edges are healthy. I mean, Chop's done what he can. I mean, God bless him. I think he's becoming a pro. He's becoming a pro. We're seeing some more positives. I'm trying here. I'm being very positive this week. We won. Okay.
No, I think he doesn't do anything wrong. He just hasn't made flash plays that you want out of a first round pick.
Exactly. And special teams, fucking Braxton Berrios, boys.
That fair catch was egregious.
That fucking
the
one.
awareness to run up and grab that one and bring it.
That was great. That almost makes up for that fair catch.
And even Alec Ingold said something on Travis's pod. Like that was a big play, bro. That was
it was really heady play. He covered a lot of ground there to catch that ball.
From the 5-yard line to the 20-yard line is a big difference, especially when you're run heavy.
Absolutely. I think real quick, flowers on the offensive side for me. Teron Armstead. Listen, I know
difference
when he's not out. God bless him. He's not out there every game, every snap. But when he's out there and he is right, it is teach tape for tackles on running outside zone. When he plays, Rob Jones elevates his game to another level. When he's not in, Rob Jones is not great. I would say average to below average. But Teron Armstead comes in, and it seems like the entire line just gets a quick uptick. And on defense, I was gonna say Sealer because Lord have mercy, but also Emmanuel Ogbah. The revelation of Emmanuel Ogbah is something
one, bro. Hell yeah.
Books will be written about.
Flowers.
Y'all are killing
because Weaver knows how to use the man, unlike the guy in Philly, and he's been unbelievable. So those are my flowers. Show you,
coaching is so fucking important. Scheme is so important. When we're pounding the table every week about the schemes and what's going on and why is Jalen Ramsey just sticking to one side of the field, like, bro, this shit is important. We didn't see Jalen Ramsey. I mean, listen, Jalen Ramsey is a dog. He always plays hard, but he's on a different level this year. That energy he's bringing is crazy.
I needed an explanation for why he was 15 yards off to Mario Douglas on that slant route.
That was a weird one.
I think that had to be a call by Weaver. There's no way that Ramsey's lining up that on his own. So
that was odd.
I don't know. I don't know what covers they were in. I didn't really break down the play or anything like that, but just to see what the call was and what the play, the responsibility of Jalen Ramsey was there. But that was the only really. I mean, that's the most Fangio gaff I've seen Weaver had. Fangio-esque gaff. I'm like, shit, this is the Titans game all over again.
Lord.
2 points real quick to make after y'all brought up some great stuff that made me think of it real quick. We give Greer a lot of crap about how much he thought he could pull off without investing in the O-line. Well, he did that with the D-line and did get away with it, and it's looking awesome. Bringing Ogba back, swallowing your pride, whoever needed to. Maybe it was just Fangio and Ogba, who knows. But getting Ogba back at that price, letting Wilkins walk, took a lot of shit for that from all of us and the whole fan base, really. It's not really anybody's fault, but Christian Wilkins are IR right now, and he's probably not playing again this season. Calais Campbell and Siller have been more than awesome. Like, they're both top right on every chart.
And Benito too, bro. Benito's been great.
And Deshaun Hand is pretty good. Deshaun Hand is pretty good.
That rotation's great, man.
Also, one other thing, since y'all brought up some players I wasn't even thinking of, Ogba and Siller are awesome choices. This also deserves some attention. Marcus May stepped in and played one hell of a game.
Yes.
Marcus May stepped in and I feel good now. Like, whoever we need to roll out there. Now, the Ravens system has been known to make safeties look awesome, like interchangeable. Whoever comes in has looked great. And this is great to see that it's transferring down here because that's an awesome thing to have.
Another great bargain signing.
I think Elijah Campbell is going to look great in this system too. I know he's got to step up right now.
He looked good. He looked good last week, dude. His range has improved significantly. Like, I didn't know he had that kind of range.
Yeah,
dude,
he's flying around the field.
Did you see that range when he was pressed up on the line of scrimmage?
Like, he was going with
located the bunch slot receiver on the opposite side of the field that was running the crosser and jetted back, and it was an incomplete pass. Like, dude, I don't even think they threw him the ball. Like, just the range that he has and that he's showing on tape is pretty incredible. But boys, I'm gonna jump off and get my picture taken. I hope you guys have a hell of an episode. We are almost done with school.
Almost. He's on the precipice, ladies and gentlemen.
And then I take my boards, and then Dr. Ghost is in the house.
This is a podcast of learning doctors.
Only time I allow the soundboard.
When it catches up you, that makes sense.
All right, boys. See you later.
All right, later,
homie.
All right, man.
Speaking on Elijah Campbell, I think his first play that he went in, they threw that bubble screen and he came flying like a bat out of hell to hit a tackle for loss. That was electric. It was fantastic. Just a hell of a play. But yeah, no, I think definitely flowers to Weaver and what he's been calling up on their last possession. The Patriots, he called a prevent, knowing that they had no timeouts. So as long as it wasn't in the end zone, no matter what, they weren't gonna run another playoff. So,
dude, sometimes when I read the comments during our conversations, I can't hold it in.
Listen, I'll say this. I don't think this is what you think it is. Let me tell you why I personally hate Harrison Buckner right now. I was in a fantasy matchup. I was down 1, or I ended up losing by 1. He misses a 52-yarder, doinks it. I would have won by 4. Instead, I lose by 1 on Monday Night Football.
Ooh.
Brother.
He's dead to you. Did you release him the same week?
No, I'm going to ride with him, obviously. I mean, he's on the best team in football. Let's not get carried away here. But
I was just trying to see what kind of GM you were, bro.
Broke my heart. No, I stick with my guys.
He's just on your shit list for a little bit. That's acceptable.
Yeah.
All right, boys. So before we get into a little Colts preview and the question bag, I wanted us to just briefly touch on the state of the AFC East. I think it's important that we kind of bring that up and just kind of go over where we are, 5 weeks in, about, week 6 starting tonight here pretty soon. Actually, a fire game tonight. Thank goodness for once. A good game on Thursdays. But I want to hear you guys' thoughts on the state of the AFC East. A lot of stuff has gone down. We're right back in the thick of things. So Bobby, what do you think? Just give the people a quick little overview on the division.
I will say this, and it might be the hopeless Dolphin fan in me, but man, after Sunday, we win. You see a few teams lose. Next thing you know, Josh Allen's out there getting his, head rocked on the ground, whether they say it's a chest or an ankle or whatever. They lose in dramatic fashion. The Jets lose again. Their offense still looks miserable. Man, we could look back at this and sound stupid, but man, we're right there. Like, whether we like it or not, like we're right there. Like we're 1.5 games back, I believe, from the Bills, which the Bills by far deserve the credit to be number one in the AFC East.
Yeah,
but they're human. But they're human.
Absolutely human. And if they're not playing the Dolphins, they're always human. So
yeah,
they don't have to play the Dolphins, but one more time. So yeah, exactly. So yeah, man. I mean, we're right there. If we can, get a good bye, and hey, we stayed relatively healthy. We got to bye with a healthy.
Knock on wood, please.
And wheat, whatever you want.
Wood and wheat, yeah, whatever. All of them. Knocking all of them.
All the gluten.
And we got a relatively healthy team headed into a bye week with guys looking to come back soon. Hopefully, Tua, River Craycraft, Cam Smith maybe back in the fold. So
Bradley Chubb.
Bradley Chubb. Things are kind of taking a turn.
Odell's back.
Getting ramped.
Mm-hmm. Isn't as bad an end of the world as we may have thought it was.
But that's the whole part of being fans. Everything's the end of the world, and everything is Super Bowl. There is no in between with me. Right or wrong.
That's why we love you.
Yeah. Like, listen, we're going to ride with our boys regardless, but at the end of the day, we're sincerely one game back. We got to play them again, so I don't even count that half, right? They don't look good. The Jets don't look good.
No.
The Patriots are God bless them. They're just trying to have fun at this point.
They need whoever's the number one left tackle.
Not that the Bills don't look good, because obviously the Bills are the best team in the division as of today, but they're human, bro. They don't really have receivers. Josh is getting banged up. I don't care what they say. He's dealt with 2 concussions now. He's a tough boy. Don't get me wrong, but those catch up to you, man. Like
yeah,
James Cook is hurt right now. He might not even play this weekend. Like there's shit going on right now where maybe we can get a little lucky. Like maybe we deserve a little bit of luck.
Hey,
the stick that we've been dealt.
The pendulum always swings both ways.
And this league, this league seems different. It's not like last year, man. This isn't high flying. This is a gritty season so far. It's been very gritty all across the board, in my opinion. So yeah, I think it's up for the taking. It's just who's gonna be healthy come November and December. I think that's really what it's gonna boil down to.
And I think when you look across the landscape of the NFL this year, Joe's right. Like, there's 2 maybe juggernauts that are like Ravens and Chiefs, and the Chiefs beat the Ravens. So like,
that was a great game.
You look at it was, and you look across the league, and no one's really trying to step up there and say, hey, this is my year, except the Chiefs and the Ravens. So like, unfortunately, both AFC teams. So we got that going for us. But yeah, I mean, this is still anybody's year. Plenty of time to bounce back.
Yeah, the Ravens got saved last week. They should have lost.
Oh,
that was a hell of a game. If I was
a Bengals fan and we get gifted that fumble and we run the ball 3 times in a row to set up a 60-yard field goal, like when Joe Burrow's on an absolute heater, I mean, Lord have mercy on your soul. Like, that was bad. I think we also need to take just a brief moment and just laugh our asses off at the Jets, just for 1 second. Do we have the
laughing soundboard? Do we have
just
that?
For once?
No.
Damn, this ain't Full House, dog. Who do I think I am?
Bobby Unprepared. The sitcom laugh, Bobby. You got to get that dialed up in there.
You got to give me a heads up on these things, man.
All right,
you got to be forward thinking.
Get your shit together, and we forgive you. It's fine.
You got to be forward thinking.
Real quick though, to add though, Joe saying that Josh Allen's getting knocked around a little bit. Aaron Rodgers, if he makes it through this year, I'll be impressed.
Dude.
And that's no knock on him. He's trying really hard.
Dude, he's getting crushed.
The guy is getting crushed, dude.
Those are not normal hits. He's getting popped.
He's getting scraped up with a shovel after 3rd downs over and over. And the guy's 40-41, right? Yep. So, like,
he's on the injury report again this week.
But you know what the shitty part is? He's got weapons.
They got an offense.
They got
weapons.
They got 2 running backs. Dude, you got 2 running backs. Both of those running backs I would take on my team. Let's just be honest.
Yeah.
I'll take Garrett Wilson without even a question. Allen Lazard is amazing, number 3. Mike Williams is a great 2. I mean, bro, they got some dogs over there. But that
Allen Lazard has 2 left hands.
Hey, but this is to show you, though. They invested a lot into their O-line this offseason, and it didn't work. And we didn't at all. And I'm not saying it's working, But I'm just
It's
saying,
better
it
than
don't,
theirs.
it don't always mean
it's not working, Bob.
Yeah, we'll see. We'll see.
It's certainly better than theirs, and they have. I think it's 2 first rounders. They got Tyron Smith. They got the Joe Tippmann's a second round pick, and yeah, it's just
Cleveland
bad.
just hit
And
a
then
dinger.
there's who did?
Cleveland, Jose Ramirez.
Oh, he's a dog. He's so good. For all my fantasy baseball fans out there, y'all know Jose Ramirez is a dog.
I didn't want to watch playoff baseball, so I just started gambling on it. It makes me at least want to watch it now.
It does make it a lot funner. And one more thing on
Guardians.
the Jets. It does go to say something about chemistry because Garrett Wilson is not being utilized well, or they're just not connecting. There's something up with that chemistry there. Something to keep an eye on the rest of the year. Yeah, but I mean, I saw somebody tweet. He was Jarvis Landry. Like he had like 12 catches for like 90 yards, you know?
You're right.
Like
I think he had like 10 catches for like 108 and 2 touchdowns.
Yeah,
or something
it's
like
not great.
Great day to be a fantasy owner in PPR, though.
That is facts.
Another thing I'll say is, look, people, they may or may not end up getting Devontae Adams. Now it's looking like Devontae Adams may not even get traded in the season. But Garrett Wilson might want to be hoping they don't, because if he thinks it's bad now, Aaron Rodgers will forget about that kid if Devontae Adams comes over there. This dude would be second fiddle, maybe third.
Aaron Rodgers is old enough and been in this game long enough where he's only throwing to you if he knows you're going to be where you're supposed to be and he likes you. Lazard gets all the targets, and the guy drops over half of them. It's amazing to watch.
Lazard's having a good bounce back, though. He's having a bounce back season.
And by the way, while we're talking about AFC East, Drake May starting, Jalen Polk on fantasy is going to be a good pickup. They were forcing him the ball last week.
He's good.
He's a good player, dude.
They got to change that rule. I know we got saved by it, thank God, but that rule
That's a terrible rule. I feel bad for Patriot fans. That's a terrible rule, dude.
Yeah, I don't think Patriots fans want to win, though. I'm pretty sure they're cool with the tank. But I do
like Drake May. I'm a fan.
I feel
Drake
like
May's pretty good.
Tanks are fun like Monday through Saturday, and then Sunday gets around and you're like, we gotta chat. Like it's for 60 minutes, you're like rooting for a win. It don't matter where your mindset really is in reality. A game will turn you against the tank all day long.
And then when you lose, you're like, it's cool. We're tanking anyway.
Dude,
yeah.
Nobody wants to line up and get their shit fucking kicked in. Like you're a professional athlete, bro. No one's doing that.
100%. All right. So let's move on to next week. We're at the Colts in a dome. I think that should fare well for us. Let's do a little preview on that game. How are you guys feeling about that coming off the bye? We have 2 weeks to plan for them. What are you guys' initial thoughts, Joe?
Well, I think Bobby brought up a good point earlier. Like, we're relatively healthy. So that extra week is huge, especially for the running backs, because if we're going to be ground and pound like this, those running backs are still going to feel it. Even if you're only getting 15 touches a game, you're going in between the tackles. You're going to feel it, bro. So I think it's really nice that we get to prepare for 2 weeks, especially with the backup quarterback, even get even more comfortable. I mean, we've seen the elevation of his game. I'd like to see another step up. It'd be nice to see him elevate and connect deep with Reek, right? It'd be nice to see that.
One time.
Yeah. And I think he's had a handful. Attaboy. He's had a handful of opportunities, right? But that's all you're gonna get in a game. Maybe 2-3 opportunities. Like, let's be real. That's usually how it works. You either hit them or you don't.
We're just spoiled because Tua normally hits them.
And man, I really, 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 really want to see the defense not give up any big plays. I want it, like, this defense is so good. Like, I really do feel this defense is just coming into their own. Like, they're just going to continue to get better and better all year. And I really just want to see them really, really flick that switch to being really dominant, especially versus a Colts team that can move the ball. I mean, let's be real. They really can move the ball. So whether it's Flacco or AR, whatever they call them.
AR-15?
AR-15, yeah.
He doesn't like that nickname.
I would rather see AR-15 just because I feel like Flacco's a true veteran. He's not going to make mistakes. With the way that we play defense with our blitz packages, I feel like it'd be really cool to see our blitz packages with the AR-15 and pick his ass off all day. That'd be dope. I'm fiending for a Ramsey pick six. Like, I'm fiending for it. I'm actually gonna call it. I'm calling it right now. Ramsey's gonna have a pick six.
Yeah, that'd be awesome.
There we go.
I said I was on the Finn's Faithful podcast earlier this week, and I said, I really hope Anthony Richards is back out there, and he's looking. I seen a thing today. He was practicing, looking healthy. I don't know if he's playing this week or not, but he, for sure, got to be back for us. My thing is, yeah, like Joe said, Joe Flacco comes in there and dices us up and just looks like a seasoned vet. Kind of like it's just our luck. Mason Rudolph comes in and plays better than Will Levis. Like, it's just so Dolphins. So,
It happens every time. We injure a quarterback, backup comes in, they cook us.
Yep, the Purdy, Mason Rudolph. Yeah, exactly. So I'm not trying to see Joe Flacco. I'm just not trying to live in that reality that Joe Flacco beat us. So, Jonathan Taylor's banged up right now. I think he should be back, but he's got a sprained ankle. They just announced Michael Pittman might be going to IR. I think that is the key. If Michael Pittman truly is, they said he should be out several weeks, maybe even going to IR. If Michael Pittman's not playing, I think that changes the whole thing. We can come up, focus on just trying to stop Jonathan Taylor and let Fuller and Ramsey play ball.
Hey, did Adonai Mitchell go there? He's there, right?
Yeah.
Adonai Mitchell, from Texas. He's there. He's like their number 2 because Alec Pierce, they throw the ball to Alec Pierce a lot because he's
I'm about to say Alec Pierce as well. He's a dog.
Pierce is nice. Pierce is nice.
So I pulled up their injury report from today. So Josh Downs didn't practice, one of their wide receivers. Michael Pittman didn't practice. Trey Sermon didn't practice. He performs, by the way. Shout out Nick and the boys. Braden Smith, their tackle, didn't practice. Jonathan Taylor didn't practice. Anthony Richardson was limited today. And then their center, Ryan Kelly, practiced in full. So I think I saw that
game this week, right?
Yeah, they play the Titans in Tennessee this week at 1:00. So they got a game this week in a division game. Yeah, I think Anthony Richardson will be back.
What pisses me off, Eric? The Titans are not a good team, but they're always tough.
At the end of this year, we're going to look back on that GD Monday Night Titans game again and just say, like, if we could have pulled out that W, what it could have done for our season. It's going to happen again. It's going to happen again.
They're really not a good team, but they're always tough. Like, every year. They're never really good.
No.
They're always just really tough and gritty.
Yep, 100%.
Fucking hate them, man.
100%.
The Colts are really banged up, and, we're hopefully, knock on wood, knock on wheat, we're turning the corner. We got Armstead in the ice tub until, 10 days from now.
Whoa, what's the deal with Isaiah Wynn, boys?
The ghost? Nobody's seen him. They don't say any update on him. Like, he's just to the wind gone. I wouldn't expect him to be back at all.
The only thing I've heard about him is he looks like he's in great shape when they see him in the locker room. Like, he's lost weight and he's fit, but I don't know. If they're comfortable with Robert Jones right now, then I guess there's no point in freaking out about it.
Robert Jones with TA is solid. Robert Jones minus TA, not ideal.
That was, let me be real here. That was Isaiah Wynn too. So Teron Armstead gives everyone a 30 to 40% kicker. So
at least.
While I'd love to sit here and be like,
that's because of this communication on the line, bro. It's
and he
so
just
big.
Covers a lot.
You can't ask Patrick Paul to sit there and try to call shit out. He's not ready yet.
No.
You know what I mean?
No.
But there's nobody that I would want him under their wing more than Teron Armstead. I'd say that much.
Oh yeah.
Even Kendall Lamb.
He's just in a bomb.
Vet.
Bro, this is kind of fun.
Oh, playoff baseball is super fun. Don't sleep on playoff baseball. It's electric out there.
It's just kind of fun.
Bobby's not a big baseball guy.
Me neither, dude. I played baseball my entire life, like 3-4 years old, bro. But
it helped this year.
I don't know. As I got older, like watching baseball, maybe because the Marlins are so dog shit bad. It's just
that'll really break you.
Yeah, man. It's just like, and it's like not even like the Marlins are just so bad to a point where it's almost like the movie Major League.
Yeah.
Remember that movie?
Who doesn't?
Bro, like, sell the team, dog. Like, it's an embarrassment. And bring the Canes back there and put the Orange Bowl back. Like,
we have a fire. That's the Marlins Park is absolute gas.
It's
if
gas.
Nobody's ever been.
Oh
it's fantastic. It is,
and it's
great.
like $7 to go, so it's so much fun.
Yeah,
but it's kind of like back to the tuxedos are kind of ironic now because it's like, dude, they got that
state of the art park, but it's always empty. But it's great when you go.
And the best food. I would put our food up against any other park.
Yeah, it's fire. If anybody listening has been to Marlins Park, you know what the deal is.
The tickets
you get a $5 ticket. $5 ticket. You stand in center field at the Budweiser bar and you watch the game from center field, and that's it. And you're just vibing. Budweiser, if you're listening, we're taking sponsors, by the way. Just shout out.
Holla.
All right, boys. So a little bit of the preview. We'll watch the Colts closely this weekend. See how they come out. Come out of the game. See who's going to start. Because that's obviously it's going to be big for us coming up. Next week off the bye. It's actually they play on my birthday. I'll be on a cruise, watching maybe from my phone. So hopefully we can pull off a dub for my B-Day.
When is your B-Day?
So let's get into
when's your birthday?
That actual day, the 20th.
Nice.
Yeah.
October 20th.
10/20. Let's get into a couple questions here in the mailbag. Shout out everybody hitting us with questions. We're always gonna pull you guys up as long as it's relatively appropriate, since I have to wear HR hat as well.
As long as producer Eric approves.
Let's.
I will say this though. Eric will be like, that's pretty much all the good ones, and I would be sitting there like, man, I remember some bangers earlier, and so I don't know your filter. Look, I understand the vulgar ones, but like, man, there's some good questions in there you're overlooking.
I'm pretty lenient. I think
maybe redundant. Maybe redundant though. I could.
Sometimes there's stuff that we've hit on, So, but still, we appreciate all the support and all the questions. We try to pull up all the good ones. So let's hit the first one here. All right. So from CERN at Second Sat Sports, does McDaniel have the discipline to keep running the ball between the tackles even when Tua comes back? Bob alluded at this one earlier, so Bobby, go ahead and let's take this one first.
I think he does. I think he has to. I mean, look, McDaniel is one of those people that when he speaks on something, he holds himself to it. So, like, I don't think he would address it at a press conference if he didn't make it a thing. So, him saying, we needed to find our identity. We need to be able to run the ball when everybody in the stadium knows we're going to run the ball. I even I screenshotted a quote from his press conference earlier this week.
Ooh.
And man, it almost brought a damn tear to my eyes because I feel like he's watching the podcast and he's quoting me. But, let me find it real quick.
Whatever helps you sleep at night, bro.
Yeah, exactly. I got to find it now.
McDaniel's in the office at 4 a.m. just like, all these motherfuckers again. Let's put it on and see what they have to say.
God damn it, Shoes. Goddamn Bob Shoes.
Joe, go ahead. I'm going to find it real quick because this show was supposed to happen a week ago, it seems.
Go ahead, Joe. So does McDaniel have the discipline to keep running the ball between the tackles even when Tua comes back?
I feel like we really won't know if he does have the discipline until he sees it not work, and then we're going to see what kind of coach he is. It's easy to say, yeah, he's going to be disciplined because it's working, and we're chunking out 5, 6, 7 yards of carry, right? But let's see if we get into a game where first quarter, and this is even without Tua, just in general, first quarter, we're getting stuffed in the run. Second quarter comes, still haven't really. I want to see him in adversity still sticking to the run. I think that's going to be the main turning point for me. I don't know if that makes sense.
No, it does. It does. I agree. Like football, the game is long. Like we're gonna get the defense is gonna get us the ball back. Like he just has to be patient and just stick to it. That's it. Just stick to it. Because guess what? Like Ghost said earlier, last week is on film. Teams have to see that. If we commit to that and teams still want to play too high safeties, you're gonna get gashed for 7, 8, 9, 10 yards a clip, and then we're gonna start breaking them. And as soon as those safeties drop into the box, you're getting hit over the top.
And my brother, he was a run game coordinator. Why wouldn't run game make your dick hard? Why wouldn't you be so fucking stoked to see your run game just kill it? Why wouldn't you?
I think having Mostert back is a huge boost to him because he just has a level of comfort and trust in Raheem. So having Raheem back just kind of makes him like, I feel that it like helps him stick to it because he trusts Raheem inherently.
That 17-play drive, Alec Engel was on the pod with Trav, and bro, we had a toss, inside zone, outside zone. I mean, just in that one drive alone, that's beautiful offense, bro. That is beautiful.
Oh, yeah. It was amazing.
I enjoy it more than watching the pass game.
When a run pops, it's lovely to see.
And but I don't want runs to pop. I want us to keep chunking. Because guess what? With all these big plays that he wants to hit, now the defense is never fresh. I want our defense to be fresh in the fucking fourth quarter every fucking game, bro. That's what I want. I don't care if it works in the first and second or third quarter, bro. I don't care. Keep the defense fresh because that's what the engine of this team right now.
Since you brought up the Ingold interview, another thing I thought was really awesome is Ingold was basically the caboose the whole drive, banging, opening holes for everyone, and for McDaniel to give him the touchdown at the end of the drive.
Oh, beautiful.
Super cool, man. Like, because fullbacks don't get no love, man. They do it for the love. They do it for the love of the game, you know. So for that drive to go the way it did, last as long as it did, and for him to get the touchdown, that was awesome. And here's the quote. I found it. This damn near brought a tear to my eyes. And this is why I think if we ever were going to stick to the run, this is why. Mike McDaniel, this league, you have to run it when they know you're going to if you want success in big games, in tight games, and November, December games. We found our identity. I mean, dude. That's a real quote from Mike McDaniel.
Ooh.
That's not AI? You didn't AI that bitch?
No, that sometimes he sounds like AI. That was real. And for me, you know, Joe made a good point though. It will be interesting to see when Tua is back on the trigger and he has an option. That could be interesting. Hell, we might go into the Colts game and just abandon the run again and be like, what the hell just happened? But
Bobby, don't put that out there, brother.
I'm just saying, like,
he's listening, dude. You just said it.
Hey, yeah.
But I think they're gonna stick to the run. I mean, dude, 41 attempts, that's insane. Like,
I think it's the most in McDaniel era.
Yeah, I think it felt good doing it, but I didn't even realize it was 41. So that's insane. That's awesome.
Ooh, hey, and fucking newsflash, boys. The fullback dives when they're not expecting it. Holy shit.
Oh, that's right. It was the touchdown was on a fullback dive, which means
it was
for
the same
certain
fucking play, Eric.
On third and one, we're doing it again. You know, for certain next week, third and one, it's coming. It's coming. You know. He's like, oh, it worked again. Let's hit it again. You know that shit's coming. Just wait for it because it's gonna happen. It's gonna happen again. You know.
Real quick, I think Ghost even said that he nothing substantial, but it was something he heard making the rounds. So hey, I'm all for it. If Quentin Nelson is
I'm licking my chops for somebody else.
I'd love to trade for that role player. You know what I mean?
I was gonna say Quentin Nelson's a hell of a role player.
Boys.
What you got?
Nelson and TA on. Oh, I'm glad you brought that up, Joe.
He's free.
Quentin Nelson and TA on the left side of the line is what dreams
That's
are
in
made
the mailbag, Joe. Calm down.
Well, it's funny that you brought that up, Joe, and what I'm talking about. We're always on the same page.
There you go.
Shout out Jacobo Zakai at Jacobo Zakai 23. Should
Big
the Dolphins try to get friend of the pod? Appreciate you, man. Should the Dolphins try to get Devin White, another Vic Fangio victim? Joe, go ahead. Go. Yes, Joe.
Fuck yes. Dude, could you imagine Devin White and Jordan Brooks in the middle? Like, can we all just have a moment of silence for that? My boy.
All I'm thinking about is that Patrick Queen bounce back year in that system last year. The way I'm seeing them use our linebackers, I'd love to see it. I mean, the guy's a free agent right now, right?
Yeah, I was gonna say he had to clear waivers already.
Yeah, I think he's past the vet 4 years. So yeah, he's free to sign wherever he wants. He's got to have a house in Florida, right?
26 years old.
If he has one in Tampa, it might not be there anymore, but he can buy one in South Florida.
I think he's
we're not talking about a 32-year-old linebacker that got kicked out of the squad. Like, this is another Fangio moment. Another Fangio moment.
Fangio is strange, you know?
Yeah. It's just bizarre.
He hasn't
you
played
can't use
one
that guy?
game. We're talking about Devin White. Super Bowl champion Devin White played next to Levante David. Hasn't played one game for the Eagles this year, who are struggling.
That Vic Fangio defense in Philly is wolf.
I seen Emmanuel Ogbah play football without Fangio, and all I'm saying is give the boy a shot. Especially when that second linebacker spot has been a little bit of a sore spot for us, right?
Don't get Joe going on the second linebacker spot, ladies.
No, I mean, listen, it is what it is, bro. I mean, even David Long's had a couple of rough games. Like,
it happens. It's a little continuity too. Like, you have to know when you're like, you know, who's hitting what, like filling what gap and shit. But it's been a little rough.
Eric. It's pretty bad.
I'm trying to give the man the benefit of the doubt. Maybe we get him on the pod one day. You know what I mean?
I mean, well, we could talk about it with him. Like, it's bad.
He'd probably be the first to admit it, you know?
Like, what kind of friend would I be if I wasn't honest with you?
That's fair. That's why we keep you around.
I think another thing, getting David Long an extra week of rest, probably a good thing. He didn't play at the end of that game. I think there's something to that. I think that hamstring's bothering him a little bit. I think he should have been on the field that last drive when we were watching that train wreck, and he wasn't. And I think David Long's hamstring is actually bothering him more than they're letting on. And this bye week is a great time for that to get some rest. Also, could be a great time to bring Devin White in. You got an extra week to get acclimated. You could get him in the system. Hell, even if David Long is your starting linebacker next to Jordan Brooks, which I think he would be, man, I'm all for him as a third linebacker. That's not a bad situation at all.
100%. That's a
Because
no-brainer,
God bless Duke Riley. He tries so hard.
I don't want to talk about.
Sweet boy. He's a sweet boy.
Well, Duke's not even on the field. Like, they clearly see him as a special teams guy. Like,
and he's not even doing that very well.
He's terrible on special teams as well. Like, we didn't bring it up because we were just, in club dub mode earlier, and I didn't want to go negative and bring up,
Eric. We're still
and bring up like bad stuff from the game Sunday. But since you brought it up and it reminded me, do you want to touch a little bit before we get into the next question? Touch just briefly on the fucking special teams unit and what kind of blackmail Danny Crossman has on Mike McDaniels, Stephen Ross, and Greer. Like, how is that man still employed? And like, granted, I don't want to call for anybody to lose their job. That's shitty. But like, my brother in Christ, we are the worst special teams unit in the last 5 years since Danny Crossman has been at the helm. Do you guys want to touch on that real quick? I think you just covered
it, by the way. We don't even have to digress anymore.
Hold on real quick, though. What is your complaints with the special teams?
Everything. None of
it.
I
think it's an assignment thing. I really
our
do.
coverage isn't bad.
Our coverage hasn't been bad this year.
The illegal formations is the only thing that really has chapped my ass at all this year.
There's been that. There's been the Duke Riley not blocking, allowing the block punt. There's also Duke Riley trying to field that ball against Tennessee.
Yeah, I keep hearing individual efforts. That's my thing.
Listen, you're the head of the snake. It's your unit. We were told in the offseason, Danny Crossman's a good coach. We just needed better players. We went out and got great special teams players like Saran Neal, friend of the pod. And the special teams unit is still fucking up. Let's be real.
But I'll say this.
It's going to cost us a game, one of these games.
Saran Neal, the coverage has been awesome. Like, the coverage has been improved by a long shot.
Yeah.
Like, we always give up a big punt or something. Like, we haven't gave up anything on the returns.
Knock on wood and wheat.
I'm not saying, like, knock on wood, but I'm not saying, like, things are great. I'm just saying, like, a lot of it I feel like is individual efforts. And if that comes down to, like, Danny Crossman keeping certain players around or letting certain people play that he likes that aren't doing their job, then, yeah, that's an issue. Let's get the guys that deserve to be out there in there. But
agreed.
Nonetheless, I feel like a lot of our issues still come back to individual efforts. Real quick, a little news, not the Dolphins, but the Jets. CAA is parting ways with Hassan Reddick, who is the NFL's last holdout. Reddick has not shown up to the facility, has collected millions in fines, and his situation currently has no end in sight, per Ian Rappaport. So his agency left him. He didn't leave CAA. His agency said, I don't even want to deal with this.
Jesus.
That's a wild
That's
situation.
a rare one. You don't hear that one every day.
That is a wild situation. Even the Woody Johnson was out the other day like, I don't know what's going on. You got to be a psychologist and something else to figure out what's going on with that young man, but hopefully he comes to play. What?
I thought that was a wild thing to say to a man you're trying to convince to come play for your team.
Yeah, that was a little
take
awkward.
A shot at his mental state, like it's him.
I think that's more of him knowing that guy's not showing up, and that's him trying to be basically big dicking him. You know what I mean?
This
Billionaires can do that.
This isn't a Jet podcast, but I will say, like, look, we've done a lot of trading for people that were due big contracts, and we paid every single one of them. You can't go get these guys without a deal in place. It doesn't work out. You have to pay the guy. Jesus fuck.
Yeah, you have to have that handshake agreement before you make that trade. At least Greer's good at doing that, you know? Bless him for all the other stuff, but at least he's good for that. Bobby, we're not gonna crush you too much with that one.
We're
gonna let that one roll. He's already we're moving on. We're on to the bye week. All right, next question here, fellas. This is actually a pretty good one. from John at J Macroby 5. Reading is hard sometimes. I know it's not
Thank God you're not the
mid-season,
producer.
but yeah. But who's your MVP this far on both sides of the ball and least value? So I guess we'll go MVP both sides of the ball, and then we can go least value. John's really working us right here, trying to get 3
Least
questions in one.
value.
Okay.
So Bobby,
That's
who
a
would
good
you say
angle.
is your MVP on both sides of the ball so far, 5 games into the season?
Jalen Ramsey is my MVP on the defense because he's just your leader. He should be. I mean, he's paid like it. He's future Hall of Famer. He should be. He is. He's showing up no matter what. Jesus Christ, man. All right.
Hey, Dustman always starts acting up when J-Cap comes in. It's unbelievable. He's such a good boy
They
tonight.
feed off each other.
Yeah.
They're like the Infinity Stones. Once they all get in here, it's like, oh, yeah.
Now
Anyway,
they start letting it rip. Go ahead, Bob.
Jalen Ramsey on defense. By
100% agree.
offense, that one's tough. The offense has kind of struggled, and like everybody's had a week, but no one's been consistent. Maybe Alec Ingold. I mean,
It's a good one.
week 1, he kind of like kept getting the tough yards, the tough situations, moving the chains, and Lord knows his job isn't easy, and he gets no respect, gets no credit. If we're gonna do what we did last Sunday, thank you, Ingold, again. We're gonna need Ingold again. So Alec Ingold, friend of the pod, is my offensive MVP right now. Fullbacks need love too.
Hell yeah. Joe?
All right, defense. I'm gonna say Calais Campbell for multiple reasons. I think his veteran leadership has been huge, especially during a losing streak that this team really wasn't accustomed to. Like this isn't what they planned on, right? Like this isn't how they planned the season to go at all. It's up to the veterans to really keep shit in gear. The coaches can only do so much. Between him and Ramsey, I mean, yeah, I would have to say, and Calais still playing like a dog at his age is just incredible to me. It's incredible, dude. Like
38.
40 years old.
And he's not a
whatever.
small human. Like that's
He's
a
the biggest
38-year-old. That's a 37,
know.
38-year-old human, and that's a big human. That's a
Big as
human.
hell.
On offense, I've even
It gets
had a couple
tricky.
minutes. I've had a couple minutes to think about it. I'm gonna go with a weird one here, man. I'm gonna go Austin Jackson.
Okay.
He shows up
He's been
every
solid.
day. Nobody hears from him. He does his job.
Okay,
First, I
if you're
Looking
an-
for consistency, right? Like I'm thinking
Right.
from a consistent, like you're not just last week or the week before. Like the guy's always available. He works his ass off. He's done nothing but get better every year. Quiet. I don't know. I something about him. I've enjoyed watching.
if you're an O lineman and your name's not getting called, you're doing right. You're doing well. And also, that false start penalty on him and on that field goal attempt
Silly.
last week was
That was the silliest shit I've ever seen
absolutely
in my life, dude.
ridiculous. Unbelievable. Austin Jackson Hive, stand up. Like,
Yeah,
that was absurd.
I was gonna say,
Special teams. We didn't do special teams, Bob.
Did they ask for special teams?
No, but I feel
No, but
Berrios,
special teams players need
Berrios
love
gets some
too.
roses. I think Berrios.
Berrios?
We kind of made fun of him for being the returner, but he's very smart, man. The dude's he's smart with the ball. He's got a lot of sense on the field, and I feel like you're not always going to get a big return. It's more about when do I signal for a fair catch? When do I let it go? You know, stuff like that's important.
I've always said, Berrios is never gonna have your game changing play, but he's gonna get his 8. He's gonna get his 8 for you, and knock on wood, all the wood. Knock on wood. He's gonna hold on, my headphones got pulled out.
Oh, Lord.
All good. He's gonna do the right thing, and knock on wood, he's never done anything to cost us a game. So he's not Dante Hall or Hester, but like Joe said, he's making the right calls back there. He's been there a while. He knows what to look for, and for the most part, he does make the right call back there.
100%. Like, I would love, like you said, he's not going to break big ones and maybe won't return one for a touchdown, but it gives me great relief knowing that he's going to catch the ball. Like, I want my returner first and foremost catch the ball.
Hands, bro.
Just catch
hands.
the ball. I don't care if you get any yards or no. Just if you fair catch and catch it every time, I'm cool with it. Just catch the fucking ball. Just
And also, Aaron Brewer. Nobody talks about him.
Ooh, he's been great.
I thought about
He's
using Aaron
actually
Brewer.
been
I
great.
thought about using Aaron Brewer. There were some haters, maybe some of them on this podcast right now, or doubters, but never had a doubt on my end.
He's been great.
Aaron
Great.
Brewer is a good center. Like they paid him to be
And
a
especially
center.
in our
We got room
system.
for one more question?
Yeah, we got room for one more. Here we go. I think we kind of touched on it, but not fully. So Brad Rogers at Brad Rogers 3. Would you rather face Richardson or Flacco next weekend?
I think we all agreed on Richardson, right?
That's actually the question I was trying to avoid because I knew it was in the mailbag. Absolutely want to see Anthony Richardson over Flacco.
100%. I think Diana Rossini said that the Dolphins were one of the teams that told Joe Flacco we didn't want you. And like, God bless, if we had Joe Flacco, we win that Titans game. We maybe win Seattle.
Yeah,
We
and
certainly won last week. Like, like
Flacco's low-key a Dolphin killer.
And to add on to that, like if they really told him that, I definitely don't want to face him. Like you don't need to face a motivated guy right now. One thing I want to go back to that last question because I thought it was interesting and I think it would be fun to break down. The person said least value.
Yeah, like who was I guess our least valuable
So like
signing?
who's getting like dollar for dollar? Who is the least value? Now, who's getting paid a lot but not giving you anything?
Okay.
That's a good question.
I might upset people with my answer.
Oh, well, you got to go with Tua.
Nope.
That is the least value. There's no way. 54 million and he's sitting at the house.
Okay.
Dollar for dollar?
I
was
got the
gonna
hiccup,
say-
so I'm trying my hardest to get rid of him.
I was gonna say, unfortunately, his counterpart, friend of the pod, I need more from Tyreek. I'm gonna be honest.
Situation
more.
though.
Yeah, but I mean, yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'm not gonna elaborate on that. I'm gonna let a lying dog lie or whatever that's Joe, you're gonna skip that least value? You want to just let that one slide? We got room for one more question. I think you'll like this one.
Defense. Least value on defense, Bradley Chubb.
Yeah, Bradley, but Bradley's on. I think we can part ways with him this offseason and not get dinged too bad. So, but I mean, who knows if Chop doesn't
it has
figure
to
out
be
how
Bradley
to get a
Chubb
pass
and
rush.
Tua because we paid them the bag and they're not playing right now. I mean, it's just that simple.
That's fair.
And it all, Chubb comes back and he's productive and he's making impact plays. No one cares. Tua comes back, the offense scoring points. He stays healthy. We'll make a playoff run. No one cares. So, like, while saying that, I think it is the obvious answer, but I also feel like that all changes. That could all change week to week, Ghost on the nose.
I'm gonna just put this up so I can see this later, Jay, because he'll take that to heart. All right, one more question from the bag here.
If Ghost was on the pod, he would have taken his shirt off just now.
He'd be freaking out right now. He'd be flexing traps. Yeah,
You coming at me, bro?
100%. All right, let's get this last one here.
Spaghetti
All right,
pop.
so from at Finn's TDs, Timothy Tagovailoa. This is a good one, not Dolphins related, but since it's a bye week and we do love food on this pod. What's your ideal cut of steak and how do you want it cooked temp wise? Also grilled, reverse seared, etc. Joe, you're our food guy. You're our food guy, so go first.
Reverse seared is delicious, first of all.
Yes.
And medium rare. Listen, I don't know what people are trying to prove when you're going rare. Like, what do you, bro? Just go eat sushi, dog. Like, what are you trying to prove? You're not more of a man than me. Give me a little pink, maybe a little red, but I need some pink in that bitch.
And what about cut? What's your favorite cut?
Man, it changes. It changes a lot. If I'm looking for like, ooh, sorry, I got the hiccups bad. If I'm looking for a flavorful cut, ribeye all day.
Mm-hmm.
But if I'm looking for a nutritious cut, every day of the week type shit, New York strip.
That's fitting. That's ironic timing.
That's
right
crazy.
there.
I had to put it up.
That's got to be J-Cap burner.
Oh my God.
Yeah, no,
Oh.
I would say strip. I would say strip for everyday usage, but ribeye when you're trying to eat like a fat lard.
Bob?
Ribeye. Ribeye is the best cut for
Bone
me.
in or bone out? What do you like?
Out.
Yeah.
Out. It's a
I feel
little
like they
easier. I
mislead you
agree.
with the bone in thing. They'd be like 20-ounce bone in. It's like, yeah, so it's a
Motherfucker,
14.
the bone weighs 10 ounces,
Yeah.
bitch.
Yeah, so they're
Exactly.
like, what are we doing here? Like, no,
It's a bait
straight
and
up.
switch at restaurants. Don't do it, people.
Yeah, no, give me the 16-ounce ribeye. Medium rare is the absolute right answer. Medium rare is perfect. It's not too undercooked and it's just still tender. Like medium rare is the right answer. And for me, man, I like a good skillet steak with a lot, just drizzle and just keep the butter flowing on top.
Brown butter based all day. We'd make
Yeah.
Gordon Ramsay proud on this podcast.
No.
Personally, for me, I like a New York strip. If I have the time, I like to sous vide it and then finish it in the cast
You
iron real
fucking
quick.
love sous vide, bro.
Bro,
Dude.
let me put everybody on. Everybody listening, if you don't own a sous vide, I think Prime Day might still be going on. Get yourself a sous vide. You will thank me later. I
What
promise
is a
you.
sous vide?
Basically, it's a
Hey,
machine
Jay,
that
I do need some pink in that bitch, though.
who doesn't love a little pink, you know?
Come on now.
A sous vide basically is a machine that keeps water at a certain temperature. Like you get a bucket for it, and it rotates the water at a specific temperature, so
Okay,
it cooks your meat at the exact temperature.
Sous videing is for brisket and pork.
Joe Robbie's had my sous vide brisket. It's also elite.
Fantastic.
I would say. But yeah, that's yeah. And now actually I have 2 New York strips ready to go. I'm about to go cook them as soon as we get up out of here.
And for anybody that
Star Wars
visits, anybody that's visiting South Florida, Joe Robbie food plug. The best steak, like I said, for any of those who have been listening since episode 1, Vignetto's in Plantation has the most delicious cowboy 26-ounce ribeye.
Oof.
It'll make you want to slap your mama and then say sorry. It is
Or not.
or not. Yeah, you might be too spicy. And he does it Chicago style, so it's he's got the Montreal. It's reverse here. Yeah, Jay. That just because Jay was here is the only reason why I just did that.
You know what's crazy? Dude, Joe had a great conversation with Blake Ferguson the very first episode about restaurants, and them two were like, I felt like I was like over here, and they were like locked in and having a great talk. Ghost hammered him about that, and man, it's never been the same.
I don't know if I'll ever recover. Ghost is really mean.
Dude,
He can't. Be. A little
while he's
feisty.
not here, we need to tell y'all this. We're gonna have a 30 for 30 one day. It's gonna be like that Disney documentary. It's like working for Ghost is like
Ghost the Gestapo.
We love you
Dude.
though, Ghost. I hope your headshots come out pretty. All right, guys.
who needs a headshot when you can get a mugshot?
All right, y'all. We appreciate everybody for rocking with us. Episode 21 in the books. Do you guys have any parting comments, thoughts, concerns, anything y'all want to get out before we jump out of here?
We might have a guest coming up soon.
A couple.
We have a couple guests coming up.
We have one for sure. We have two for sure. Still working on the date with one of them, but we have 2 for sure coming up. Maybe a Halloween edition episode coming for Halloween week. We have another one that's kind of like it's the great chase right now. I'm trying to, I'm chasing the gazelle, but I can't quite catch it. But I'm wearing it down.
Fruit Bob's gonna get him.
If
Fruit
you
and Bob will
I'll
get
lend
it.
you my harpoon.
It's
You're
not
gonna
a
need it for this
matter
big
of
fish.
there's communication and there's mutual interest. It's just the person is got a hat, like several hats, so they're like a different team every night, different time. It's just I'm working on it. It's gonna be
It's gonna
awesome.
happen. It's gonna happen. You guys are gonna love it. It's gonna be
super
great.
cool for what we do, and it'll be just a really fun one. But so we got a few very different kind of guests and got different shows coming on. Obviously, we'll keep doing the guys on Tuesday night. Hopefully, we can get back to Tuesday night starting next week or whatever.
Yeah, the hurricane kind of messed us up this week.
Yeah, it's a little crazy. Shout out to everybody again. Hope everybody's safe. Everybody's family's all right. Hopefully no more for the season.
I got your crow's nest right here, Jay.
All right, everybody. Until
Go ahead, Eric. My bad, man. They
no,
always
you're good.
They always do this at the end. It's
I
like
know they hit us with the good shit when we're trying to get out of
Oh,
here.
no,
Like the
man,
game's
like,
about
in
to
the
start.
middle.
Like, come on now.
I ain't fucking leaving.
I ain't leaving. All right, everybody. Everybody be safe. Enjoy the bye week. Watching Red Zone all week. Hate watching the Jets. Oh, Jets Bills. We get to watch that on Monday. We get to just hate watch that entire thing. It's gonna be great. And
if nothing else, we can talk about that.
Until next time. Fins up.